there's one sermon you need to hear today, it is this one.
Charlie Kirk did not deserve to be assassinated. But I'm overwhelmed seeing the flags of the United States of America at half-staff calling this nation to honor and venerate a man who was an unapologetic racist and spent all of his life sowing seeds of division and hate into this land. And hearing people with selective rage who are mad about Charlie Kirk but didn't give a damn about Melissa Hortman and her husband when they were shot down in their home tell me I ought to have compassion for the death of a man who had no respect for my own life. I am sorry, but there's nowhere in Bible where we are taught to honor evil. And how you die does not redeem how you lived. You do not become a hero in your death when you are a weapon of the enemy in your life. I can abhor the violence that took your life, but I don't have to celebrate how you chose to live. I am overwhelmed. Charlie Kirk did not deserve.
What's up, guys? Welcome back to the channel. Thank you so much for tuning in. In today's episode, we are going to see how Christians themselves, they are talking or they are reacting on Charlie death. Actually, we would like to hear from them. I don't know what you think. Me, I would like to hear from them. So guys, let's dive in. Credit belongs to the original owner of the videos. I will come back with more commentary.
He took the Bible out of context, took Jesus out of the equation, and preached the false doctrine of Christian nationalism, which I've seen destroy churches. I disagree with almost everything he said. I oppose violence in all of its forms. Jesus said, those who live by the sword die by the sword. Did he get what he deserved? No. We all deserve a second chance. He definitely deserved a reprimand, but nothing like...
I want to start this by saying I am a Christian. Okay? I am a Christian. I don't even sometimes like to call myself a Christian because my relationship with God isn't based off of religion, but it's based off relationship. Like with the Charlie Kirk situation, it says, yes, he focuses on marriage. Yes, he focuses on, going to get same-sex, same-sex marriage. Yes, he focuses against transgender people. Yes, he focuses against abortion, all that stuff. There's Christians who focus so much on not trying to sin, on not trying to have abortions, on wanting to go against same-sex marriage, and you completely forget the whole point of why Jesus came. It's not so we can be so against sin. It's so that we can love on one another as Christ called us to love each other, to love the church like Christ loved us. He felt like he had to protect guns. He was idolizing guns over innocent people and children who are dying, and y'all are making us feel bad for not supporting that man. Y'all are supporting that man just because he hated sin, quote unquote sin, the same way that you did. Because he hated gay people like you did, because he hated abortions like you did, because he hated marriages like you did. Are you serious? Are we missing the plot? Because y'all finna piss me off. That's not the point, to be condemning other people because of their sin. That is not why Jesus has us here. And you shouldn't be standing behind a man just because you hate the same sins that he does. I said, like the first man who never sinned, throw the first rock. Ain't nobody throw the rock. Y'all are going against exactly what Jesus put us here for. Y'all like to focus on one thing and not focus on the other thing. You like to focus on sin but not focus on your heart. Baby, change your heart. And I'm not saying that what happened to that guy was okay. It's not okay. But at the same time, y'all, that man just...
Guys, actually, Charlie has built his platform by mixing faith in politics, and now Christian community, they are calling him out. They are like, no, those two things, they don't get mixed. Of course, he was convincing people like Jesus is a Republican and stuff like that, and he was using some of the scripture to push his agenda. And now many people, they are like, no, no, no. Many Christians, they are standing up. They're like, this is not the way. This is not what Jesus said, and we all know that. But let's watch it. Let's keep watching. I'll come back with more commentary.
I had to walk out of church today over comments about Charlie Kirk. I'm on the verge of tears sitting in this parking lot because I'm having such a complex with my faith. Because I genuinely don't understand how Christians are pushing this man as though hate didn't come out of his mouth and heart on a consistent basis. And I'm genuinely sitting here like, if this is the God that we serve, if this is the reflection of the God we serve, do I want to be a part of it? I'm truly having a conflict with my faith because the leaders that we're supposed to be following are guiding us in this way to feel empathy and sympathy, and like that this person was this great Christian, and that the message that his wife gave was, it started off with like praising God. And I'm like, did we miss the chapter of hate that he endorsed, encouraged, and pushed? I don't know where to go from here. I don't... To spew hate and hide yourself behind a Bible, to me, is not something I want to be a part of. And it's not the faith I want to be a part of. So what do? I got up out of church and walked out. And I'm at a battle within myself, sitting here as like, to what do? I don't want him to be a reflection of what I believe. And what do you do when your leaders and your pastor is saying that is the reflection? To me, I feel like I'm smart. I feel like I've worked hard to get where I get, and to push a man who thought that I didn't have the thinking capacity to get to where I am, that I stole a white person's spot. Like, to think that that's the okay thought, that me as a black person can't function in this world and be just as great as the next, that I don't deserve where I am. Is that what God thinks of me? Is that what this faith thinks of me? I don't know.
Guys, we all know the way Jesus lived. He didn't sit on the table of the power, and he didn't even align with the government or with the whoever is like in charge. He was always with the poor, supporting them, helping them through this. And the way Charlie was using his name in his own advantage, people are saying this is not gospel. This is not what Jesus asked us to do. Jesus asked us, you need love one another, love your neighbors, you love yourself. But this is different things in his case, right? We have to agree on that. If you trust in Jesus, if you trust in God, if you trust in Bible. Wow, guys, let's keep watching.
I'm going to talk about the Charlie Kirk situation as a Christian, because a lot of people is throwing Charlie Kirk as a man of God. First, I'd like to start off by saying I do not think that he should have died because of his beliefs, and I also do not think that he should have died by gun violence, which is a big issue in America, and an issue that he in fact supported when he said that it's worth having a few deaths a year in order to have the Second Amendment right. And the last time I read my Bible, it said, if you live by the sword, you're going to die by it. I also think it's very ironic seeing a lot of conservatives, Republicans, and Christians posting about Charlie Kirk, even though I never seen them once post about the mass shootings that happen at churches, never once about the mass shootings that happen at schools, grocery stores, or even the genocide that's happening in Gaza right now. Which shows me it was never about Charlie Kirk. It was about the agenda that he was fitting. He supported everything that they want. And in fact, that's Trump. All of these people never cared about the gun control in America until it fit their agenda. And I also find that a lot of people in America idolize Trump and his administration and all of his followers, because a lot of people are saying that was a man of God. I don't know if I'm just seeing it wrong, because last time I read the Bible, it said that we know that people are men and women of God because of their fruits. Obviously, it says to pray for everyone, and I will be praying for his family. And just the situation in itself, it sucks. But it also shows that we need to have gun reform in America. This is not a joke. Like, people are innocently dying, but yet nobody says anything until Charlie Kirk dies. In fact, there was a shooting in Colorado at a school today, yet none of the people that posted about Charlie Kirk posted about the school shooting that happened. I just don't understand how people can care so much about it with one person, but then when it affects anybody else, it doesn't matter. Oh wait, I do know, it's because it has not affected them. Jesus says in his word, "What you do to the least of these, you do to me." How we are treating the poor, how we are treating the marginalized communities, and how we are treating innocent people shows a lot. And honestly, that's just where I'm gonna end.
Guys, and now the backlash is growing because the pastors in the Christian community, they are saying actually Jesus doesn't play politics. Jesus loves everyone. You don't just say you are in faith by standing with one politics, that one party. That means the other one, you hate them, you don't wish them the best. But Jesus was for all. That's we all know. Jesus was for all, for everyone. Either you are poor, either you are doing this, Jesus loves you no matter what. No matter what. No matter who you are. No matter what you do, Jesus still loves you. Wow, guys, let's watch.
Charlie Kirk was a satanic presence. Changed my mind. But first I'm going to make an argument for my point, because I'm Blair, I'm a pastor, I'm a parent, and I'm a professor of theology, so I know a couple things about Satan. And I happen to know that Satan comes from the Aramaic word ha-satan, which means the challenger, or the adversary, or the one who lies in wait. And I also happen to know that the most prominent use of Satan in the Christian scriptures is in the Gospels. In between when Jesus is baptized and when he begins his earthly ministry, he's swept off into the wilderness, and he's tempted by ha-satan, the challenger, Satan, and he is challenged by the challenger to do some things that are against the nature of his ministry. The things he's challenged to do are to turn stones into bread, to jump off a church and call the angels to catch him, and to use his divine authority to exert power over humanity. And each step of the way, Jesus refuses to corrupt the power of his ministry. And instead, he goes into his work in Nazareth and across the Galilean countryside and eventually in Jerusalem, where he focuses on things that Charlie Kirk probably would have described as DEI, diversity, equity, inclusion, because he was healing the sick, and he was eating with sinners, and he was elevating women into positions of leadership, and he was feeding the poor. He was doing all of these things that Charlie Kirk decried as being toxic empathy. And this is why I say that Charlie Kirk is a satanic presence, because he literally went around college campus to college campus, challenging young people on their empathetic impulses that drew them towards a life of service, a life of diversity, a life of inclusion, and a life in pursuit of justice. So when I say that Charlie Kirk was a satanic presence, that's what I mean. I think that Charlie Kirk was actively fighting against things that resemble the ministry of Christ in the world. And therefore, am I going to celebrate the death of the man, Charlie Kirk? No, because I believe in strategic nonviolence, I believe in active nonviolence, and I do not believe in the lie of redemptive violence that says violence will save us. So I will not celebrate that a child of God is dead, that a father and a son and a husband is no longer on this earth. I will not celebrate that, but I will tell you, I will not actively mourn either that a satanic presence is now gone.
What happened? Jesus was always on the side of people, we know that, and he never aligned with government, with the powerful people. He always challenged them, telling them, do this, do that. What about this one? So we all know that. So for the people trying to take what Charlie was doing and align it with the Christianity, this is insane. This is different. If you are a real Christian and you know what God and Jesus ask us, it's like love one another. And what he was doing, it was not that. And supporting this kind of shooting and stuff like that, it was not in Jesus like preaching and everything. This was Charlie agenda, doing his own things, using being Christian so he can push his own agenda. And for the Christian who are still thinking like he was doing this because he's Christian, you are dead long. You are not okay unless you are like him. You are not okay. Because tell me something, tell me why Jesus always said, love your neighbors, you love yourself. And what Charlie did is like division, hating on some people because how they look like. We all know that. It's not a secret, guys. We all know that. We all saw that. We've been following him for a long time. It's not like you can lie about that. We were there. So I'm not saying like I'm supporting what happened to him. Of course I'm not. And no one deserves to die like that. Violence is never a good thing, and God doesn't support violence. But also don't call it, it's like whatever he was doing, it was like because he was Christian. No, 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 don't mix that. Don't mix that. We all know that. And they love that some pastors, some Christian community, they are coming out and make this clear, because some people need to say it. Some people need to say it because other people want to just keep using Christianity, and this push some people who really want to know God, who want to know Jesus as their life and savior. Because if they see someone who do bad things call himself like Christian, they're like, if it's that if being Christian is like that, I don't want to be anymore. Do you understand that? Some people don't understand that, but we need to understand that if you are doing something, do it on your own. Like if I'm doing something, I will do it on my own. I will not put Christian like here so I can do whatever I want. That's really bad. We don't use the name of God, the name of Jesus in our own agenda in a bad way. That's really something bad to do. That's something bad to do in my part. That's what I think. So that's why I don't want to hear when people saying, oh, he's Christianity. That's what. No, no, no. He's not. He's doing his own things. This is separated. He may be Christian. He may call himself Christian. He think like he was Christian. Yeah, we all think like that. But what we do is on our head. That's what I think. And I think this is what this Christian community is trying to tell us. I love that. I love that they're able to make this clear, because some people were like, if I don't want to be Christian, if I would be like that, you understand my point. So guys, I have a few comments from the people. As always, let's hear what the people are saying about the situation. The first comment said, Jesus never said breasts are powerful. He said breasts are the poor, big difference. And the second one say, every time Charlie talk about Christianity, it sounds more like campaign speech than sermon, which I agree. The third one say, funny how Jesus cared for the sick, for the poor, but Charlie fight against healthcare for the poor. The fourth one say, this isn't Christianity, this is political agenda, and people are walking up to it. Yeah. And the last one say, if your faith depend on politics part, then your faith isn't Jesus, period. Yeah, because there's no way you are in political party and they're telling you it's because you are Christian, and God, Jesus teaches like unite, love one another. In your own party, they are telling you, oh, those one, they are left, they are black, they are brown, they're not, we don't need to love them, we need to kick them out of the country. No, no, no. That's not the way. You need to treat them differently. No. That's not Jesus. We all know that. That's not Jesus. Jesus loved each and every one of us. So guys, actually, I just want to thank you. Let me know what you think and subscribe to the channel if it's your first time. I'll see you next time. Bye.